There's something called ethical fading, which is insidious. And ethical fading is when people make unethical decisions, believing they are still within their own ethical framework. In other words, they don't think they've done anything wrong, right? And we see this, extreme examples are when a pharmaceutical company will raise the price of an essential drug for which they have the patent 500%, 800%, 1,000%, 1,500% to meet some financial objective, which is not illegal, but wholly unethical. And we always drag them in front of Congress and say, why did you do it? And they all say the same thing. We didn't do anything illegal. No, but my goodness, that was unethical, right? What happened at Wells Fargo, same thing. People started opening fake bank accounts to help them meet their short-term financial objectives. In some cases illegal, but in many cases wholly unethical. And one of the things that happens in ethical fading, one of the criteria that allows ethical fading to happen is the overuse of euphemisms, where we use language to distance ourselves from the impact of our decisions, right? So for example, you ask most CEOs, would you ever spy on your customers? Of course we would never spy on our customers. That's insane. Data mining, we love. We love data mining, right? Now, just call it what it is. It's spying on your customers, right? And you'll find that if you actually call things for what they are, your ability to navigate those ethical pitfalls actually becomes a lot easier. When we use euphemisms to distance or disconnect ourselves, or to, create this sort of, cozy view of things, like externalities. We're managing externalities. You mean you're managing the damage you're doing to the environment and the societies in which you have your factories, right? Just call it what it is. And then you'll find managing externalities, the percentages that you found acceptable are no longer acceptable. My friend Bob Chapman, who runs a company called Barry Waymiller, doesn't even refer to head count. We have to reduce our head count. He refers to heart count. It's very difficult to reduce a heart count, right? And so language really matters when you're navigating these things. And if you call things for what they are, you'll find your ability to make better decisions go up. And so in the case that you talk about tech, you have to put a human face back on numbers. And there's been studies done on this. There's a group of social scientists who did a wonderful experiment where they took a bunch of volunteers at a university who were dialing for dollars for a scholarship, right? During these hard times, we're looking for you to donate to whatever scholarship. And the numbers were kind of flat to down. And so they hired a consultant to rewrite the script. It had a small but not very significant impact. And these social scientists brought in a recipient of the scholarship to talk to the volunteers. Are you ready for this? For 5 minutes, and talk about the impact the scholarship had on their lives. All of a sudden, they didn't have to obey a script, and they weren't doing it for some ethereal, mystical student scholarship. They were doing it for Stacy over there. I'm doing this, I'm calling you because I'm damn well going to get more money for people like Stacy. And it became deeply personal. A division of Wells Fargo in St. Louis, same thing. Their small business loan department, there's just dealing with numbers and creating, everything was a spreadsheet. And what they did is they brought in a recipient of the small business loan to talk about the impact that loan had on their life, and performance skyrocketed because they're now doing it for a person. So if you find that you have dehumanized the people you're supposed to be serving, bring in somebody who has benefited from your product or your service to talk to your employees and put a human face back on it. Letters work as well, not as effective, the data shows, as a human being, but it still has a positive impact. So you have to, as a leader, put human faces, not generic, real people, back to those numbers, humanize them, rehumanize them. It also may help you maintain higher levels of ethics as well. That's one of the reasons I think we have more unethical behavior, a lot of unethical behavior in companies, is because they're looking at spreadsheets and thinking that those are customers. A team is not a group of people who work together. A team is a group of people who trust each other. And just because you were assigned to work with somebody doesn't mean you're a team yet. You have to do the hard work of building a team and creating teaming. Whether a leader is assigned or whether a leader emerges, and it doesn't matter the rank, a leader recognizes that they have a responsibility to see those around them rise. It's not about them and their glory. It's not about, I did all the work, And what's fascinating is a team of average performers outperform a team of high performers every day. for all of the reasons we're talking about, which is, are you in service to your team or are you in service to yourself? When I used to teach way back when, I did team projects and the university advised me because I made the teams, I didn't let them choose. I would put my top performers on one team. I'd put my bottom performers on another team, and then I'd spread out the average. Because my original instinct was to take my top performers and put one of them on each team, right? And the university said, don't do that. And so I followed the university's guidance and I put all my top performers on one team. And literally, as I announced the teams in the class, the rest of the class were like, come on, like I'd stacked the deck. My top performers never, ever, ever got the best grade for their group projects. Never. My top performers spent more time in my office going, but I'm doing all the work and that person's not doing the work. And is it going to affect my grade? And what happens about my grade, me? The average performers, because they knew that they were middle of the pack, they worked together a hell of a lot better. And they always, every year, outperformed the top team. Every single year, because they were devoted to their team rather than themselves. They were more concerned about each other's grades and the group grade rather than my grade. And so that's part of teaming. It's showing up for the team and service to the team, not worrying about the disparities of who's doing more or less work. It doesn't matter. If somebody's doing less work, then brush them aside. Like, so what? They're going to get your grade. That means welcome to life. Yeah, it's unfair. Yeah. Congratulations. Yes, it's unfair. You did all the work and they got a good grade. What do you care about them? Worry about yourself, right? And so this is what teaming is. The hard work of teaming is actually the hard work of learning to build deep, meaningful relationships. And I guarantee you, if you can learn the skills to be a better listener, a better team player in your group project, you will find weird things happening in your friendships and your relationship with your parents and your siblings and your girlfriends and your boyfriends, which is you'll notice that those relationships are getting better too, because the skills are human skills and they're transferable professionally or personally.